In part 3 of our cybersecurity Q&A, Sheldon Reynolds from Security Everywhere talks us through the danger of reusing passwords and what happens on the dark web. Please introduce yourself.
So my name is Sheldon Reynolds. I obviously work for Security Everywhere and I'm the account executive there, so responsible for bringing in new clients, looking after existing clients and just holding their hand from the beginning of the journey throughout the journey.
As a newcomer to the cybersecurity industry, what's something you've been surprised to learn?
So a big thing and well, it's not even a big thing. I think a small thing is just something as small as password security. People don't think using the same password on 10, 15, 20 different websites is a big mistake, but it is a big mistake. Something as small as MyFitnessPal, can get hacked. What they do is they extract 10, 15, 20 million accounts off of MyFitnessPal, and what they do with those credentials is they actually sell them on the dark web. We've all heard of the dark web. A lot of the time when I bring up the dark web, people get all scared, but the truth of the matter is that they sell this information on the dark web. And if your MyFitnessPal password or credentials is being sold on the dark web, and you using those credentials or passwords on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, maybe even your banking account, anything that involves e-commerce, that's a big problem, because they've got access to that password and they call this brute force, where they start testing that password on all multiple different websites, and that's a problem. So I think what we try to tell people is, and what we try to really get the message across is the reusing passwords, it's a really bad habit.
What is best practice when it comes to protecting our passwords?
The truth of the matter is that if someone gets on your system, a hacker specifically, they can actually extract those passwords out of your Chrome browser within seconds. So what you need to be doing is you need to be putting your passwords in what we call a secure vault. It's a password manager. It's fully encrypted. It's protected with two-factor authentication. It's storing your passwords securely. It's generating complex passwords for you, so not like London 1@ or Paris 123 ! It's actually 15, 20 character passwords that include uppercase, lowercase letters. It includes symbols. It includes numbers in a random format, so that it's pretty much impossible to just come up or hack these passwords, unless a website was hacked and they actually got those passwords out of the website. The other thing that a really good enterprise password manager will do for you is that it actually scans the dark web 24/7, so that if your LinkedIn password, for instance, gets hacked and it's sitting on the dark web, the password manager that we use actually tells you if your LinkedIn password has been breached or compromised. It alerts you and it prompts you to change that password ASAP. So it's a lot of preventing anything happening rather than taking action after anything has been done, which we all know is a big problem, trying to get support after something has happened, and you quite the emotional damage has been done as well, and it's just a lot of stress that you can prevent.
What is the dark web and what do hackers use it for?
It is used for a lot of criminal activities and all that type of stuff, but when it comes to cybersecurity specifically, anything that a hacker is able to extract, they actually sell that on the dark web. So if they manage to extract 20 million records out of LinkedIn, they're not going to be able to do something with all of those records, so they actually go and sell all those records on the dark web, sell them for £1 a record, and that's where the danger comes in, because if you are specifically being targeted by someone, the first thing they're going to go do is look on the dark web, type your name in, and anything they can find out about you, they're going to look on the dark web and find out what they can about you and what they can use against you. And it might be your LinkedIn passwords that's sitting on there, which they're now going to go test on multiple different websites. So I think that's from a password manager or a password security perspective, that's where the danger of the dark web really comes in.
How can you tell if someone's data has been leaked onto the dark web?
So the other thing that we can actually do is it's something called a dark web report. And this is really interesting because all we need from you is your domain. We type that in and we extract a report, and that tells us any passwords or compromised credentials within your business, the domain specifically that we put in, that have been compromised. Passwords, credentials, a lot of the time we see reused passwords so many times, and it actually gives you who the culprits are. And this is really good from a prevention point of view. A lot of people are scared to find out what's on the dark web, but if it was me, I would rather know what's out there and what's on there so that I can change that. Create awareness within my company. Listen, guys, we're reusing passwords. Change this password. It's sitting on there at the moment. And this is actually something that we offer for our clients. So the dark web report is a service that we provide for our clients or anyone who's interested in finding out what credentials of theirs is sitting on the dark web. But if anyone from ThisWeekinFM is interested in finding out what's on the dark web or just getting a report for them, what they can do is they can just mention that to me, that they're from ThisWeekinFM, and I will generate that report for them free of charge and go through that with them, explain a little bit more about it, and give them some tips on how to move forward and how to prevent that in future.
What else should businesses be aware of when it comes to cybersecurity?
Another thing that we're seeing that's really on the rise at the moment, and a lot of people are falling victim to it, is invoice fraud, and that is a big issue. The reason why that's an issue is because people are being spoofed, or what we call impersonated, and the reason they are being impersonated is because they don't have specific email security records in place. If you don't have those in place, your domain, you, or anyone in your business can be impersonated, which is a problem because anyone in your supply chain, your clients, your customers, your prospects can fall victim to any type of phishing emails, but the most common one we're seeing is invoice fraud because it's coming from a trusted source who's being impersonated. Meanwhile, the banking details on the invoice have actually been changed, and you thinking you're paying your customer or your supplier, meanwhile you're actually paying money straight into a hacker's account. The other thing why email security records are so important at the moment, so we've mentioned impersonation and a spoofing perspective. The other reason it's so important is from an email deliverability perspective. If you don't have these records in place and you're doing marketing from your company, those emails, they're not even going into spam, they're going straight into a black hole. So you directly as a company are losing out on a lot of money because of these emails that just aren't hitting the intended destination which you want them to reach out to.